So let's go into the next chapter, which is all about finding your freelancing niche. So there may be some people here that already know exactly what they'll go into. For me, it was a very easy transition because I worked in digital marketing, and this is really good to do remotely because you just need your laptop and Wi-Fi. For some, it might not be that simple. So this chapter is all about how you can find your freelancing niche. What I will say is the great thing about freelancing is that the landscape is huge, and there's got to be a niche there for anyone, no matter what your skills or experience. It's just figuring out what you want to do, what's going to make you happy, and what skills you can also bring to the table. In the guide, you'll see I've listed loads of examples from virtual assistant, video editor, coder. Like, there's something for everyone, so please don't panic if you're worried about what you could do. So in that list, some of the job posts were very specific and some were more generalized, so this is just something else to consider. The more specific you go, the more you might be able to charge, but you might have less opportunities for work. So to give an example, a specialist might be an email content writer. So you are a copywriter specifically for writing emails, whereas a more general role would be a content writer. So you could write content for blog posts, for emails, for social media, whatever it is. So I've kind of identified 3 different steps to identify your freelancing niche. The first thing to do if you are struggling is to get a piece of paper and a pen and write down all of your skills. And I would split them into 2 different types of skills. So your technical skills and your soft skills. Your technical skills are things like design or coding or writing. So if you've done something like that in your past job, write that down. Your soft skills are more things like communication or organization, that kind of thing. So write those down, then we'll move on to the second step. The second step is figuring out what niches are actually in demand. So for this, you're going to need to go away and do a little bit of market research. The reason for this is that you don't want to start a niche where there's no demand for it. For instance, if you decide that you really want to be making videos for TikTok, and then on the news it says that TikTok is being banned, then there's no need for your job anymore. But yeah, that's just an example of why it's really important to do the market research and just figure out what jobs are really in demand right now, because you want to position yourself where there's work. And doing market research will just enable you to find out if there are any trends. There's so many resources that you could do market research. Have a look on LinkedIn. There's a function on Google called News, so you could do like trending freelancing jobs up there and see what articles come up and figure out if there's any services that are currently being highly requested. So now you've got your skills and you've got your market research. The third point is to use the 3 Ps as your framework to really define that niche. So the first P, profit. You want to be asking yourself what you can make. Does this niche let you charge rates that are going to satisfy what you want to live on? Number 2, passion. There's no point in starting something in freelancing if you don't have any passion for it. You've got to be doing this work, so you need to be happy doing it. So ask yourself, does the work excite you? And the last 3, proficiency. Ask yourself if you're skilled enough to actually work in this niche. And don't worry necessarily if the answer is no, because you can do a course and get skilled, but I think you need to have some fundamentals there. So ask yourself if you can confidently deliver quality work. And there you have it, your 3 steps. By this point, I hope that you will have a really clear idea of where you should be going. So if you've written down, for example, that you have good diary management skills and you're really organized and you get excited by the thought of helping somebody else plan their day, then being a virtual assistant could be a really good option for you. And if you are still stuck, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on the club. I would be more than happy to try and help you find your niche. So the next step is getting qualified in your niche. You obviously want to make sure that you have got the right skills to be able to do quality work. If you feel like you have, it's just worth bearing in mind that as a freelancer, it's really important to keep the knowledge and skills in your industry. Keep doing courses, keep attending webinars, just make sure that you're like on the cusp of what's going on in the industry. So there are plenty of free courses online on how to get qualified in your niche. There's also obviously paid courses. I've used Udemy quite a lot. It's really cheap. I think I did a refresher ads course on there for like $9.99, and I really like it because you can do it in your own time, and you've always got it there to look back on. LinkedIn Learning is also really helpful. And of course, just make sure to check that you don't need any industry certifications for your niche. So for example, if you're a digital marketer, you might want the Google Analytics certification, because all of these things can go on your portfolio, which I'll talk about later, which will help you get work. And as we finish this chapter, just to note that please don't worry if you are in a niche and you're feeling like you don't actually want to be in the niche. There's no reason why you can't switch. And it's all about testing and trying what you like and what you feel comfortable in. So just because you say this niche now, it doesn't mean it's set in stone. So let's go into the next chapter, which is setting yourself up as self-employed.